Got it. Stand by for Titanfall.
Hey everyone, Skillsy Shooter here, coming at you with some Titanfall beta footage here. Well, I thought I'd do a bit of a dual comm with co-host Polywaffle here. Say hi.
G'day, how's it going?
Good, good. Yeah. So between the two of us, it seems like we've got about 78 hours of beta beta footage that we can go through. So we thought we'd do a bit of I suppose, an open call to just establish some first impressions and have a bit of a chat. And hopefully you'll have some footage in the background to clap your peepers around and see best practice, or I suppose, or not best practice in my case, as to what to do when you're starting to play the game. So we've got a few topics here and we'll go through those and we'll see what we can come up with in the end. Yeah. So I guess the first thing, I suppose, if you had only 3 words to describe the game or the general feel of the game so far, what would it be? You can swear, you're allowed to.
So, I probably only need 2, which is probably just fucking awesome.
I was gonna go for fucking amazing. I clearly don't know you well enough.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I was just mentioning earlier that this is one of the games where we've pretty much mentioned in every single podcast we've ever done. So yeah, which is why we're doing its own little podcast sort of thing for it. Beta we've had over the weekend, which it's a beta test. It's not really a beta. It's more of a stress test on the servers. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's getting off the track of the question. Yes, it is a lot of fun. Yeah, it's just it feels a lot like COD. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, that's by the same, developer or producer or whatever of some of the other COD games. Again, it's not a bad thing that it feels like COD. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun game.
And it's kind of validating in a way as well. Like, I never like getting so hyped up for a game and then have it disappoint me.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing more, I suppose, especially from my point of view, when, I've plonked down $400+ for the collector's edition, and I'll have this whacking great statue behind me reminding me, hey, check it out. You look at me. You've paid $400 for me, and this game might not be all that good. Yeah. So I suppose from that point of view, it's really validating to know that even though this is the beta and whatever rough edges they decide to, I suppose, machine off, no pun intended, machine off or get rid of or just polish in general, it's nice to know that as far as a beta test goes, it's really impressive.
Yeah.
And I think I watched a couple of videos on I suppose, any sort of Titanfall hype videos and people's reactions to them and whether or not they were disappointed or whether or not they thought it was all they were expecting it to be. And for the most part, it's been pretty positive. The haters obviously are there, but I think it's purely for the case of just it's fashionable to hate on something.
Hate on something that's so big. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But really, and you know what? I'm usually the first person to hate on like massive sort of titles like this, like Call of Duty Ghosts, where I was really excited for that one because I love Black Ops 2, pre-ordered it and everything, and I just hated it so much. Whereas I know a lot of other people, love it, and then I know it pisses people off when I say that I hate it. So yeah, so I kind of do it a little bit more. But for this game, which I could have said I hated it because it feels a lot like Call of Duty, mm-hmm. I love it. It's so maybe I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, I guess, because it feels so much like COD, and I love it so much.
That's what I'm taking away from this whole conversation. The fact that you're a massive hypocrite.
Yeah.
No, and it was kind of strange because I suppose all weekend, and no homo, but I was thinking about you and what you might potentially think of this game because I suppose for people that don't know, Ben and I have kind of differing tastes in games and stuff, but we kind of align on AAA titles like this and. We were, pretty much straight there on launch night of Battlefield 4. This we've been clamoring for since I suppose the beta announcement.
Yeah.
But you're into DayZ and I'm kind of not, and other games like that. So, yeah, for this game to be, I suppose, a quote unquote hit with both of us just from beta footage or beta playing. I think it's a good testament to, I suppose, the final product that we'll get in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, I'm guessing it must, show that it's, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B sort of thing in terms of a game design where, where you like a lot of COD and it obviously plays a lot like that, but then, it's got elements of Titans and different classes and all that sort of stuff or whatever, and then, it makes... it kind of feels like what Call of Duty Ghosts should have been, and maybe a bit of Crisis 3, what that should have been, the multiplayer-wise as well. Because in Crisis 3, you can get into the machines, which are kind of similar to Titans. You can cloak as well, all that sort of stuff. So it kind of feels like that, in a sort of sense, very very loosely, yeah.
It's kind of like if you were to Frankenstein various different aspects of modern FPSs and games where you could kind of pick them apart and take, okay, I'll take the cloaking from Crisis, I'll take I suppose the rocket pack aspect from Halo, we'll take a run and gun kind of style of Call of Duty, chuck in a bit of Hawken, and which ironically launched I think 2 days ago, early access on Steam. So if this isn't your cup of tea, which I can't imagine this isn't anyone's cup of tea, check out Hawken, completely unrelated, and fashion all those aspects of that FPS into a game that you see before you hear. So it's good to see that people were taking notes over the years. And I suppose Frankensteining the best aspects of everything into what we've got in front of us now. So yeah, from that aspect, I'm quite happy.
Yeah, and from what we've played so far, it's been great. See what happens when the final product comes out on March 11th or something. So
yeah, 11th.
I'm imagining it's more of the good or something. Yeah.
And I hate to say I told you so, but I think a lot of the factors that I tried to identify in a previous video that I did on Titanfall, when I say you, I mean the collective you, not you yourself. Yeah, such a hater. I'll link to it in the description below, because a lot of it did focus on things like balance and just how, I suppose, invincible, in air quotes, you feel in a Titan. I feel far from invincible in a Titan, that's for damn sure.
I'm glad you said that, because that's something I was going to bring up later. But
yeah. And so yeah, check out that video and see if it rings true with anything that the viewers, I suppose, would either agree or disagree with based on this beta footage, and I suppose take it with a pinch of salt and see if your ideas align with mine. So I suppose we could probably get started into a couple of topics just in relation. The big thing, I suppose, would be the guns, potentially. And I think I saw, as over the course of unlocking stuff, that I'd unlocked 14 out of 16 guns. Enough? Do you think that's enough, or do you think it's... Because I mean, you've got your snipers. You'll always have your snipers in whatever game, and thankfully it looks like there's only one of those. But it looks like they've really embraced the whole run and gun style. So a lot of it is very CQB and shotgun based, and assault rifles and stuff like that. Do you think that was a good move? Or?
I mean, that's working for me so far. It's not too over the top, but I mean, it's always good when you have a massive range of stuff. You can really pick and choose really what you want and make it real personal. Maybe in this sense, you don't really have that level of personal sort of customizable stuff, but so far I've been happy with it. I've been having too much fun running up walls and double jumping everything and jumping into Titans to really worry about not having the SMG or specific SMG or whatever gun that I want, sort of thing.
So this would be so much fun if I was double jumping and I had this gun like that.
Yeah, and had two SMGs in my hands or something like that.
That hasn't factored into anything there for me.
Exactly. And it's fine for me. What about you? What do you think? Do you want more of a range, or because in Call of Duty there's usually much more of a range, isn't there?
There is, and I think they kind of truncated it with Ghosts, and whether or not that was based on laziness on the developers' parts, or any sort of informed research that said people don't want such a huge array of guns. I mean, They added the marksman class, obviously, but that's sort of off topic. So, yeah, I kind of draw a lot of parallels with Halo, because it seemed like there was a relatively limited amount of weaponry you could have with Halo, and for the most part it became very tactical, and the playing field was a lot more level than what it might have been if say you had a sniper up against a person armed with a pistol kind of thing. And you'll still have those battles in this game as well, but I can probably count on 3 fingers the amount of times I've been sniped. And it's usually that person that, just for the sake of getting onto the top of the tallest build he can.
Exactly.
And just sitting there, he'll probably get his 10 attrition points per round, have a KD of like 6 and 0, but he won't be having nearly as much fun as what I'm having.
Yeah, and it's more of a team effort in this game as well, and he's not adding anything to the team thing. But then again, yeah, exactly. So.
And how are you liking that smart pistol?
That thing is so overpowered. It is ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking.
It's a bit trolling, isn't it? I suppose they try and counter it with the fact that, if you're surrounded by people, that it takes probably about 3 or 4 clicks, and not in clicks, as in seconds to lock onto all 4 targets. But I mean, is there a more satisfying feeling than sort of doing that whole a question mark pattern from spawn, going into a room behind a whole bunch of grunts, and just rocking up to them like Judge Dredd, pulling that trigger once and just seeing a room full of grunts just hit the floor. That's very satisfying to me. But I can imagine from a pilot point of view, that would just be like the most frustrating thing ever.
I got to admit, I absolutely love flanking them and doing that. That is so much fun. And as well, I said that it was overpowered, but if you're versing a pilot sort of thing, if you're moving enough in this game, you won't get a lock on. They won't get a lock on you. It just encourages you to move more. Really, if someone's standing in a window, locking onto pilots and shooting them, really, you should be moving quick enough not to get shot. You should be moving around quick enough or whatever. I only find the pilots that I kill with the smart gun, are doing the wrong thing or stuck or something like that. So, yeah, really, it almost, sometimes it more just feels like a bit of a support sort of weapon where you're just clearing all the minions, like the grunts and stuff. So if you're moving quick enough, you're not going to be able to get a lock on. Until you upgrade it, until you upgrade it, and then you get the advanced, I can't remember the exact term for it, but I have it where it's the lock-on time is considerably less.
It's even more trolling.
It's considerably easier to kill the pilots. I think it's almost feels like half the lock-on time. Maybe it's about 3/4 or 2/3 or something like that. But yeah, and the range is even extended as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's interesting, because I mean, even I've picked up, I've sort of reverted to my Call of Duty ways and equipped myself with a shotgun, and that thing is surprising. You don't really have the room clearing ability of a smart pistol, but even then, I mean, these grunts, that I suppose their primary objective is to act like a bit of a distraction, and if you get killed by a grunt, then chances are you're probably in a really shitty situation that you shouldn't have been in the first place. But even then, the amount of times I've walked into, I think it's on the Angel City map, with it's all rocky and stuff. It's not the city one. Oh, maybe it's not the city one. It's the other one, the one with
like the crash,
rock faces and like mining equipment and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
It's the level with grass on it, basically.
Not in the city.
Not in the city. The other map. I've got this one flanking route, which viewers will probably see on the screen as every second game. I go straight up the guts, through a window, and around the back. And there's probably only been a handful of occasions where there's been a room full of less than 4 people. Activate that cloaking, which we'll speak about later. Activate that cloaking before you walk in that door, and those grunts don't know what to hit them. You're walking in there like RoboCop, just taking people out left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
and to know that that lock-on time gets halved moving forward. That's I could probably see a patch coming to make that maybe a 2-shot kill. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, yeah. But just quickly before I forget too, when we were talking about the smart gun, if you come up face to face and one-on-one with, another pilot, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to win with the smart gun unless you headshot them. If they've got some sort of automatic weapon or really anything, yeah, head on and face to face, yeah, the smart gun won't win unless you get a headshot on them.
It feels like there's that minimum distance which it needs to lock on. Anything shorter than that, and it just turns into a 1911 from Call of Duty or something. I've literally just watched a bit of footage just on my screen here. It's probably not the same. It's what's going to make it into the sort of final edit of me coming face to face with a guy with the R101, I think, the carbine, and I must have pulled that trigger 6-7 times, and he just minced me literally. So there is that range where there's that damage drop off, or that lock-on drop off rather. And it just turns into an automatic, or just a normal handgun kind of thing, which is kind of fair enough, and that maybe that's what they were thinking at the time. I'm sure when the final version comes out, something will be changed with it, I would assume. There'll be some nerfs. There'll be some, I suppose, some little things that have been adjusted. I mean, the carbine feels like it kills in a sufficient amount of time for an assault rifle. It's kind of what you would expect. The spectres, I mean, the different enemy types, and how spectres take a bit more time to kill is perfectly fair enough. I didn't realise that you could actually. I was watching another video and it said you can hijack them. Is that right?
What, the spectres? Not that I know of. I haven't done
some
any
more
of that.
research. I will. I will investigate.
I'm usually running way too quick, and with the smart gun, as soon as I see anything like that, they're dead before
Yeah, that's
I
it.
even get close to them. So yeah.
You don't have time to ask questions.
No, I don't.
So yeah, weapons on the whole, I think there's enough of you satisfied. A couple of OP kind of situations, but I guess you lend it to the situation if you're going to be an aggressive player and you sort of run and gun and stuff, and you'd like to be rewarded for that sort of stuff. And if you take a death or two, then so be it.
But that's part of the beta. That's what balancing is. That's why they're doing this. So
that's it.
Yeah.
And I suppose we should give them some props to at least give them some thanks for it going relatively smoothly. I had one disconnect the entire night, and
I haven't had any. Yeah.
And then when they actually did identify some things that needed to be fixed up, it was done relatively quickly, wasn't it? How I was out last night or the night before, but how quickly were they sort of on the ball with that one?
What you mean in terms of the servers being down, or the CD keys? Oh yeah. No, they fixed that actually surprisingly quick. Before I realised that, I just logged on. I was checking it every half an hour because I just got my CD key sorted out, and it was downloaded, which it downloaded really quick and everything. And when I finally was ready to play, the servers were down, and then I think it was only a few hours. Basically.
You had time to send me an email to say I can't get on, the servers are down. And then no sooner had you sent that email, you were able to get on. So.
I was up, that's how bored I was. I just better let Gav know.
That's it.
I finally figured out the debacle of my CD keys and everything.
Yeah.
And then finally, when that was sorted, the servers were down. So that was a little bit annoying, but again, I'm not going to act all privileged and everything where I think, I should have been able to play the game straight away from the start and all that sort of stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, no, that's why they do this sort of stuff, to iron out any sort of problems with they have with the servers, any problems with they have with, CD key distribution. But when they do this, you always hear about what I assume little snot-nosed 14-year-olds where they're like all ungrateful because they didn't get into the beta and all this sort of stuff. It's like, yes, what entitlement do you have to get into the beta? It's totally by chance. Yeah. Just because you've pre-ordered or something like that, you can wait 3 more weeks. If you can't wait 3 more weeks, maybe you just have to look at the priorities a little bit different. But even when
maybe study a bit more for the school that you're in.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, even when I had all the problems with my CD keys because they sent me an Xbox one instead of a PC one, And then when they sent me the proper PC one, it said that it had been used. So then I put in a ticket for it, and it was like a day later I was playing it, really.
Yeah.
About 24 hours after it had started, I was playing it, so they fixed it up surprisingly quick. So that's why I do these things.
Let's hope it bodes well for, I suppose, future patches or future critical server fails that that do happen from time to time. But it's all about the reaction.
Exactly. I mean, this is the most anticipated game of the year, hence why we're doing this special podcast. So there's going to be a lot of players. The launch, obviously they want to go as smoothly as possible, but I would expect them to be bombarded, and there's going to be a lot of problems. Yeah, hopefully not. I don't want any problems. I want to play the game. But yeah, like with any massive launch, especially to do with EA, there'll probably be problems.
So
and everyone's going to whinge about it till no end.
If we can possibly prevent a Sim/Battlefield 4/ kind of debacle, that'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, hopefully they've learned from their mistakes. Yeah.
What you've seen of the maps, I suppose we're pretty accustomed to them as they are at the moment, but just in terms of the actual map design, personally, I think they've done a pretty magical job of giving you those sectors of the sectors of the map that Titans can't go to, because chances are it would be a very sort of a powerful position to be in. And conversely, just the fact that you can get in and around the map. I mean, I think Angel City, I can traverse the map without even touching the floor, apart from obviously at spawn. It just good map design. It's so underrated. Like,
yeah, I'm happy you said that, because with the whole wall running and double jumping and everything, it makes you realise, like, in the past, how much areas of maps were just not being used, such as walls, which sounds funny to say because you're running on the wall. It's like, oh, why didn't we think of that before? But I'm not saying if that's the case, why do you think of wall running? But really, when you're running down a wall, it just adds that element and just makes the map, just so much more dimensional, where you're just in areas which you've never been before. And on roofs, it almost seems like, it's like 3 or 4 layers where you can be on the ground, you can be on a wall, you can be on the first floor, second floor, and then the roof. Even roofs, some roofs have 2 levels as well. So, yeah, it's great doing that.
Which is why my parkour simulator game on Steam never really took off. So, yeah, I needed to combine it with weaponry and jump kicks and stuff.
Yeah,
that was a funny thing, actually. I came up against a pilot, and he was wall running at the time, and I dare say my lag probably had something to do with it. But he jump kicked me off the wall, and instead of getting pissed off that he killed me, I thought, dude, that is cool. I've got to try that next time I'm on this map.
Yeah.
I didn't even get pissed off. It was great.
Yeah, well, that was like when people, because you can hold on to the wall, where people in a doorway will just hang on top of a doorway. So as soon as you run through, they'll shoot you, which is, a little bit dodgy. But I was like, that's a pretty good idea. That's something that in previous games you could just run straight through a door, not have to worry about someone hiding above a doorway shooting you, sort of thing. So that was pretty cool. I tried it a few times, didn't work though.
Well, I was just going to say how satisfying it is to nail that, that double jump and, hitting that boost at a time when you don't actually need to mount the window frame or something like that. You just glide straight through it.
Straight through it, like Born Identity style.
Yeah, you chain through. I mean, I've broken my ankle 3 times this weekend trying to simulate other stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Jumping down staircases. I mean, I probably shouldn't have been doing that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, the biggest buzzword that I've been hearing with this game and all the sort of first impression videos that I've seen is just the word different, and strip away all the different layers of an FPS, and it does come down to the different factors of wall jumping and double jumping and rocket packs and mechs and all that sort of stuff, and combining that, I suppose, with the DNA of the Call of Duty people, and making sure that whatever went into the best maps of Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 made their way in some shape or form, be it subtly or out and out, you know, bludgeoning you over the head with how similar it is. I think it's definitely served its purpose, and you can definitely feel that just in the way that it handles from map to map.
Like it feels familiar, but it also feels different in a sense. I know that doesn't make sense when you say it, but if you think about it,
Well, yeah, the premise is different, but the feel is very familiar.
Yeah, like when you first started playing, was there any learning curve for you at all?
Really good question. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
As soon as you went into that training sim, I can imagine you just breeze through it because
the thing was still talking when I finished, I got to the end of everything.
Yeah. And even when it came to like doing a bit of Titan tutorial work where you're up against 3 Titans or whatever, you still, even though you knew you had no chance, and obviously that's by design to teach you different things about Titans, it's still, I can't imagine too many people would have been looking at their keyboard going, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing, or how does this work, or certainly not with the controller. I mean, I haven't actually played it with the mouse and keyboard yet. Don't hate, but it just feels right at home with a controller in my hands, kind of thing. I'm kind of very on board with that, and it does a lot it'll do a lot to win the war of people who maybe haven't seen this game as much, or just the adoption factor of how quickly people pick up this game, and indeed the Xbox One in general. Because, I mean, let's face it, I've always billed this as a game and a reason to get an Xbox One. That pickup factor and the fact that it is familiar does need to be one of the biggest factors of the first play. So,
yeah. So, how does it feel on the Xbox One? Because obviously you haven't played it on PC yet, and I haven't played it on Xbox One yet. What does it feel like? Obviously it feels quite nice, but in terms of its performance.
Well, I do. I've played both.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only got probably about an hour of playtime on the PC. Probably 3 and a bit hours on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Feel-wise, they're very similar. I think it's probably because I'm using an Xbox 360 controller on the PC, and obviously the Xbox One controller on the Xbox One. It might come down to server performance. It does feel a little bit smoother, funnily enough, on the Xbox One, which I think is a good thing, considering it's, if that's going to be your primary hub of this game, then you're in for a good time. Connection wise, it might have had something to do with the fact that there's no Australian servers, but that said, though, I didn't really have any issues with any sort of massive amounts of lag. I noticed it at times, but not to the point where I started throwing controllers. I was leading the lobby on a lot of occasions, and I can't imagine I probably would have done that if lag was a huge issue. But it's good. The graphical performance, obviously, on the PC is a lot better. I think I read that natively 792 for the Xbox One, with hopes of bumping that to 900 come launch is their goal. And I'm assuming that 1080p is the PC standard. So graphically it looks better on the PC, as to be expected, but the feel isn't really compromised on the Xbox One.
That's good.
And I think if it got to the point where you were you had enough dead time playing this game to really go up close to a wall and go, gee, these textures aren't looking up to scratch, kind of thing, you're playing the game wrong,
Yeah.
So
well, that's the thing. I mean, graphically it's not amazing, but it's not terrible. That's the thing. I mean, it's basically it is what it is. It's nothing amazing. Not that it really bothers me. The audio as well, again, is nothing amazing. It's fine though. I love the sound of when you request a Titan coming in. It sounds exactly like a rocket taking off. That sounds really good. Audio, Battlefield 4 still takes the cake, but that's completely different well, not completely different game, but very very different. Um, but it still looks nice. I have no problems with it. It's good.
Just the way that it breaks. It sounds like it's a sonic boom kind of thing as it descends from the sky.
Yeah, it's like
Like
that crackly sort of sound as it's coming down. Yeah.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 timestamps here of where there's audio grabs of when prepare for Titanfall, which yeah, I'll be utilising that as parts of intros and whatnot. Like, it's little stuff like that. It makes you feel like a fucking superhero. It's great.
And it's just nice and fast as well. It's just really fast. Which
Yeah.
is it's good to play again as well. When I play Battlefield 4, it's slow. I'm running for a while or whatever. Where this just feels more arcadey, and that brings me to the whole 6 versus 6 thing, where everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's only going to be 6 versus 6."
Yep.
That is not an issue in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much shit going on that 6 versus 6 feels like a lot. Maybe it's just me, but it is fucking chaos sometimes.
Oh,
I love it.
I'm with you there. I mean, I take umbrage at these people, and to be fair, a lot of the I suppose the IGNs of the world and the polygons and all that sort of stuff, they really did hold their opinion in abeyance until such time as beta comes around. But I mean, naturally that didn't stop the haters of the world saying 6v6, this is bullshit, Battlefield 32. And someone raised a good point. I watched a video yesterday that even if you were to double, make it 12v12, 12 as in 12 playable characters, 12 pilots, and then have some AI on top of that, it'd be absolute bedlam. It might be, I think it might have been one of Jay's videos, actually, now that I think about it, where, if you've got 12 players, each one of them, relatively close to getting their Titan, or even on their second Titan, it would just turn into a game of Demolition Derby.
Yeah.
I have, the amount of times I've been targeted by 2 or more Titans at any one time has been quite a few times.
Yeah.
And that's with 6 playable characters. So half the amount of players, and I don't care how big the maps are, you're still going to have a logjam of places on the map, because that's where the action is, that you drop your Titan to get stuck in, So, 6v6, perfect. I don't have any issues with that at all. And it's a factor that goes back to the whole pickup factor as well. People who are completely new to this game, I don't feel bad in the slightest that I'm killing grunts, and that's contributing towards my kill feed kind of thing. I think in one of the first few games I went on a 15 kill streak, which is far and away probably, I didn't get Moabs in Modern Warfare 3, I didn't get nuclears in Black Ops 2, that sort of stuff. I don't get chem strikes in Ghost, and to pick up this game after half an hour and just run around and take out 15 people in a very short span of time, I'm not going to get involved with that. A kill's a kill, and it felt good, and I'm having a massive amount of fun. So
exactly, that's why after my yep.
I was just going to say the AI was a pretty genius addition.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're playing, well, I know you don't play it, but League of Legends or Dota 2, where you have minions in that, and you support them, even though they're fucking dumb in this game, like they got no brain. But anyway, they're kind of just like a support thing where it helps you kind of push forward. Whereas if it's 2 groups of 5 minions meeting up sort of thing, if you've got a pilot on one side, you take them out, you kind of push that area forward, exactly like in Dota 2 or League of Legends, which I'm guessing is what they're going for in this. It just kind of adds like a little bit of a different dimension, where you're seeking ground, and you have supposedly you're supposed to have the AI there, or the minions there to help you, sort of thing. Really not doing anything, but it's still good to have them there.
It's a distraction to say, it gives 2 people the opportunity to do something. It gives you the opportunity to go in there and get a few cheeky kills, but it also, if you keep an eye on your mini-map and you know where your grunts are heading, you head in the direction of where those grunts are. Whilst I'm running around with my smart pistol or shotgun or whatever, taking these people out, it's free reign for them to have a relatively easy free shot at taking me out. And that's 9 times out of 10 how I die in those situations. I'll storm a room with 6 people. I've literally just watched it on my screen just then. I tried to take on a whole room with a smart pistol, and lo and behold, there's a guy sitting up top on top of a billboard, just kills him with a carbine. Which I put myself in that situation. Stupid skillsy.
But that's the thing as well. Like if you're in a window and you're shooting people from a window, you've always got to worry about minions coming up from behind you. It disrupts you. It moves you around, sort of thing. It keeps you moving around. So. As dumb as they are, I like them.
Yeah, like you say, like minions from Despicable Me.
Yeah.
They're pretty useless at the best of times, but they're fodder. They're fodder for running around saying banana. Stupid things. So that was balance. We'll call that balance as a topic. We kind of touched on just the general feel and the whole wall jumps, double jumps, that sort of stuff. I think that was that's pretty much been covered off. Just how great it feels. How have your connections been? I mean, I briefly spoke about the no Australian server thing, but
yeah, well, I'm on a ping of about 150, which is not the best.
Snap. Same as me.
Yeah, but it's played fine, really. I have no dropouts or anything like that. I think you said a couple of times, you've lost connection to the server or whatever. That's actually never happened to me. And I've been playing for a bit now. I've already reached level cap and everything.
What is that, by the way? I'm up to 14. Is that where it stops?
Yeah. Once you max out 14, it stops there.
Right.
So in that all time I'm playing, I've never had a disconnect, which I think is pretty damn good for like a stress test on the service for the weekend. So if they bring service to Australia, which I've heard they are, I don't know for a fact, but if they do, I will be really happy.
Yeah.
Because it'd just be great to play and not have to worry about, hit registration issues or anything like that.
And, I suppose the whole reliance on this whole cloud-based gaming kind of thing, I can't imagine it would be too much of a big deal to... who was saying it? Corthell was saying it, actually, wasn't he? I think he was mentioning it in a tweet where there's some data centres that are being installed in Sydney.
Oh, okay.
Whether or not... I think they're Microsoft owned. But I can imagine, a whole stack of those being allocated to, the AAAs of the Xbox One and making sure Ghosts and this game is taken well and truly care of. FIFA, obviously, if it's going to take an EA spin, they're certainly going to look after the likes of FIFA and games like that in the EA suite. So a solution might be around the corner if it was so abominable that the connection was so bad that it was unplayable. But it's far from unplayable. So
I've never had a problem. Only a couple of times. I've died because of
what felt like lag.
Ping. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and didn't really bother me that much. So. Because as soon as you die, you just jump straight back in. You're playing again, really. So
I sprinted past the guy and hit him in the chest with the shotgun, and the kill didn't register until I pretty much exited the room. I was like, okay, I'll take that one. Thankfully, it was a grunt. I probably could have turned around and shot 4 more times at him. He probably wouldn't have killed me. But
but my have been nothing like that. So that sounds considerably worse than the problems that I've been having. Yeah.
What do you think about the burn cards? Do you think that's some sort of harking back to death streaks of the COD universe? And
I guess so. It just makes it a little bit different. I guess I kind of like them. In all honesty, I don't use them that much. Really, I should use them a lot.
Because you die a lot.
Well,
because you're crap.
Not to brag, but I don't actually die that much. Per round, I actually die maybe.
What a perfect world we live in.
Once or twice, really. Again, I'm not one to brag, so I'm not the best player, but once or twice a round, I think that's all right.
Give me 50
So,
bucks,
yeah.
or I'll tell people your IP address. So I'll just, yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I do like them. I do like them. Yeah, and it's good. I guess I got no problems with it. Should use them. Yeah.
I think by the time I get to level cap, there will be the increased possibility of getting the. I think I saw the Strider burn card, which you can only have from a burn card until the full release, which I suppose will give you a bit more of a taste of the variety of different Titans you can have. Because so far I've only seen the one in different.
The Atlas. Yeah.
Yeah, in different forms. So. I haven't actually got to use the Strider yet, but I can imagine just from the name alone it means it's probably a bit more agile, but a lot less armor plated. If I can take that away.
Just by the name. Yeah.
Just by the name, and even just the look of it, it looks like it's a grasshopper with a machine gun strapped to it. Strapped to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a couple of people were just going, it just wouldn't be an Infinity Ward game unless they threw in like. Some reference to Call of Duty, and let's just take the worst aspect of Call of Duty, the death streaks, and just call them the burn cards.
Burn cards.
But
Yeah.
I think because there's 3 of them, and they quite literally go away as soon as you've used them, and the games themselves don't go for too long, you'd have to be pretty shit to cycle through sort of
All of them,
all
yeah.
of your burn cards and then not come out the other side with a fairly decent score kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's a catch-22. They learnt by their mistakes, and they've I suppose adjusted to fit the clientele and make sure that they don't abuse the system itself. But yeah, time will tell. Time will tell.
It's still a little bit new to me because, like I said, I don't use them that much.
I
but
don't
I'll-
die very often.
Yeah. But yeah, and we kind of mentioned it before as well. With the Titan, I was a bit worried that with the whole introduction of Titans into games, that as soon as you hopped into one, you would just dominate the map and you'd kill everyone and you'd stay alive forever. But it is not like that at
Watch
all.
my gameplay. I'm shit. Literally, it's like I just bolt a couple of tin cans to myself and start firing. I'm getting better, but yeah, I'm well and truly a pilot. Yes, sorry, continue. Yes.
Yeah, it's the battles between the Titans are great, and yeah, people like other pilots that are on the ground with their anti-Titan weapons are a massive threat. So yeah, it's definitely not the case of when you hop in, you own the map. Not at all.
No.
You're just a massive target, and everyone goes for you.
That's it. Yeah, you summed it up nicely. You are the biggest target. There are people that have been seemingly traversing the map just to go. Oh,
Just to go straight to you.
there's
Yeah.
a guy over there. I can, and you do get rewarded for it quite nicely. Even if you put a Titan into Doomsday, I think it's worth 200. Titan assist obviously for 100. I think you get 1,000 for a kill. So
Yep.
they make it worth your while.
And it's fun to rodeo them as well. So that's a lot of fun jumping on the back and yeah.
I hope there's a patch to give people high fives. That'd be sweet. Even on friendly Titans, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I did that by accident when I jumped on a friendly Titan. I didn't know what was going on. And
Clean for dear life. You're like, what the fuck? Why can't I shoot this one?
I was shooting it. I didn't know what was going on. There was so much stuff going on the map. And somehow I ended on the back of a friendly one. And I was like, oh, this is the part where you rip open the thing and you shoot it. And I'm shooting it. And I was like, oh, shit, it's a friendly one. So I learned from that. But yeah, that's a lot of fun too.
Is friendly fire turned off by default?
I would say, yeah, because I didn't damage it at all when I shot it. So
I'm pretty sure I shot someone in the back and I saw blood spurt, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, cool. I've just killed that. Oh, hang on. No, that was a friendly person, but they didn't die. I'm thinking the blood is just for effect, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll get. I think Battlefield did it as well. It's like, watch your gun there, soldier, kind of thing.
yeah.
Yes, Titans are far from indestructible.
Yeah.
It has to be said. but that in itself, I think that's a great thing. That goes back to the balance side of things and whether or not,
Yeah.
you know, as soon as you earn them, and I suppose just the process of you earning them doesn't mean that you have to go on a huge kill streak.
No.
That could have been something that was handled so badly
Yeah.
that you needed 5.
Like 5 in a row or
Yeah.
6 in a row or something like that. And that pressure when you're on your last one, the pressure is immense. Well, for me it is anyway when you're on those kill streaks. And it would have ruined it so much, I think. So yeah, I think that was really good. Where it's just on the timer, the more kills you get or damage you do or whatever, the timer goes down even quicker. So I really like that.
Yeah, so incrementally rewarding you, even if you are quote unquote shit, you'll still probably average maybe 2 titans a game.
Yeah.
And you know, and work your way towards that third, and yeah, do what you can, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm glad they handled that as well as what they did, because that could have been handled pretty poorly. Just the balance of it and how hard it would be to take one down, as well as, you know, getting them in the first place. I've got it here because it's got WTF after it. Jump kicks. What the fuck? Jump kick. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mentioned before about how funny it was that I got jump kicked off a wall, like someone was filming a Peugeot parkour kind of advert. But I think, you know, when all's said and done, it might come down to the knife lunge from different Call of Duty games, and just how quick and how sort of imprecise it is to seemingly turn into Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, where you just
axe
covering that distance in a split second. Yeah.
and just axe kick someone in the face, even though they've got body armor and stuff. And it's like, oh, that's a kill. I think it should be a 2-kick kill.
Yeah. It's like bullets, you know, to the chest don't kill you, but you know, one swift kick and you're dead.
With an army boot with body armor. Oh no, you're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it wouldn't be a game that would be spoken about if there wasn't at least one flaw or two. But,
yeah. It's a game after all.
I do like the execution side of things for like if you're coming up behind people.
With the neck breaks and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm yet to sort of kick someone off a building, which I saw in the demo. Oh jeez, I really want to kick someone off a building, but they turn around at the last minute all the time. Oh, I nearly did it on that piece of gameplay I'm watching now. Damn. Yeah, sorry, just getting distracted. Yeah, I mean, even in the training, that sort of training tutorial, when you hacked that panel, you had a knife. I'm wondering whether or not that knife would make an appearance in the full version.
Yeah, I would kind of hope so. I kind of like a knife, so yeah, as opposed to a boot.
Because you break that neck at ridiculous speed, it seems. It's like the head's on a swivel, and you're just like, oh crap! It's like taking the cap off a can of Coke or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and we'll see if there's more to offer in the full release. Hope there's a knife. If there's not, I'll stick with the kicks.
Yeah. Not. It's not a game breaker for me.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole epilogue thing?
Yeah. I kind of like that. It kind of adds like a bit of a fun feature, almost like a little bit of a immersion or storyline sort of thing, where you got to get to like an extraction point after you've finished or either been defeated in the round or whatever. So
you just have the shit kicked out of you. It's like, oh yeah, here's a consolation prize, so you can at least earn some complimentary XP, as you just get ass handed to you. But
and it's just like a race to get out, because you know the enemy wants to just rub it in by like wiping your team out before they even get to it, and you've got the pressure of you want to get out of there. So yeah, I kind of like it. Sometimes I
sense a bit of frustration coming out, because I think it's going to be for what I think it's is my frustration.
Alrighty, there's the one, I think it's Angel City, where it's the city one, not the mining one. For the life of me, I cannot get on that fucking roof to get out of there.
Do they shift? Do the points shift?
I don't know. Oh, possibly. There's just one of them, it's been the same one the past 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah.
I cannot get on top of the roof.
I thought you were going to say something about that prick that as soon as the extraction point is sort of established, like he just makes a beeline for, you know, a suitable sniper spot. The amount of times I've been running up and I'm just like, you can almost do it in slow motion, and the guy's just capped me from behind. I'm like, you slag.
Yeah.
And yeah, lo and behold. Alternatively, there's been many a time when, you know, little Johnny's running beside me and he's like, we're going to get out of here, Skillsy, we're going to get out of here. And then he just get capped and I'm... the XP is called Soul Survivor.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, there's me seeing poor little Johnny just have his life ended in front of me. And here's me jumping into hyperspace as I fly away.
Leaving him behind.
There's something strangely satisfying about watching little Johnny. Poor Johnny.
But no, I do like that. But then sometimes it's kind of just like, oh, if you defeat it, you just want the round to end.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, okay, it's over. It's like, oh shit, no, now I've got to go run to the plane, and if I get killed, now I've got to watch my other dumbass teammates try and get on top of the roof, which they can't get to, which is generally me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no sort of like, I'll give you a boost facility or like drop down a rope so I can climb up it. It's like, no, you've still got to be... You still be that retarded trying to jump up a perfectly smooth wall that you just can't get around.
And that's the thing as well, you get there too early and you're just a massive target too, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's it. Oh dear.
But then after the round as well, there's... Do you think the countdown time for the next round is too long?
Yeah.
Or is it a for you?
Well, I have seen numbers of around about the 80-second mark, which...
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been done for a number of reasons. A, maybe to discourage people just getting in, or, you know, potentially changing servers if there is the ability to change servers on the PC version. I don't know. Is there like a... I'm hoping it's not like the Battlefield setup where you've got to access it through a browser and do
nothing
that.
like that. Nah.
Because I mean, obviously the beta itself is just a shortcut on my thing. I don't have to go through Origin as such. Just wondering whether or not the full release will need to go through Origin for the launch, but I don't know.
Oh, well, that's the thing. You'll be signed into Origin, but it'll just be in the background, so when you double-click on the icon, it won't bring up Origin. It'll just go straight to the game.
Oh, I meant from a server point of view, though. Like,
oh, sorry, yeah.
Where you pick your local server, Asia Pacific or whatever.
Yeah, no, it won't be like that. Oh, I hope not. I like being in the game.
And having it sort of choose it based on locality and the lowest ping. Yeah.
Just click on it and just wait, sort of thing. But I find just sometimes it's like it's the 80-something seconds. It's just
it's a bit long.
It should just be 30 seconds. What am I talking? It's like 50 seconds. I'm talking, 50-second,
First world problems.
difference that I'm talking about here. But it just it's really annoying. If I really wanted to nitpick, 50 seconds that I could be playing more.
For people that didn't know, Ben said he had to leave the computer for about, ironically, 30 seconds to go get his wine. So I'm thinking he'll be able to use those 50 seconds fairly well when it comes to...
I could find something to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, either that or you'll just take on a massive drinking habit. Yeah, class action suit against Respawn for encouraging my drinking habit. Yeah. Oh my god, I've just watched the epilogue of a round, and I kid you not, I got 3 feet from the door, and this fucker just killed me. My god, I might have to upload that one. That was actually a pretty good game, and we lost. I think I went through the first 10 games where playing attrition that we didn't actually win.
Oh, okay.
Whether or not it was the case of bad... I won't say bad matchmaking, but everyone's just feeling out the game, and they've got to, someone's got to win. But yeah, I just couldn't scrape together a win, and then you think you'll be able to get some XP by getting to the dropship kind of thing. I was like, oh, okay, I'll try and get to that dropship. Oh no, I've just been shot in the penis, and you don't get that XP either. But yeah, I just couldn't win a round until I went to hardpoint, and then the wins didn't stop. I was playing hardpoint for a while, trying to get my domination on, and yeah, that felt a lot more. I suppose it felt more adept to people who are familiar with playing Call of Duty and domination and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, don't know what my favourite game mode is. We don't actually know, do we? How many different types of game modes?
Yeah.
I heard it's something ridiculous, like 7 or 14. It's either one of the two. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be pretty cool. I kind of like the beta variety sort of thing, where it's just picks a bunch of random ones. So that's good fun if I don't know. So then you get like the Last Titan Standing, or
haven't played that game mode, and I think it's because I sort of do prefer being that pilot anyway. I always feel like I'm kind of like I equate it to flying a vehicle in Battlefield 4. It's like I really should be in this. Flying a helicopter in charge of a 50 cal machine gun kind of thing, and then it's like I really should be doing this. I should just be a foot soldier.
Yeah, I don't deserve this. I feel everyone's looking at me. Yeah.
Not that I have to land a Titan, thankfully. 'Cause me trying to land a helicopter in Battlefield 4 is akin to a retard trying to fuck a doorknob. But yeah, less said about that, the better.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the topics I had. Did you have anything that we've kind of missed out on?
Quick look.
Hey, your Titan will be ready in 60 seconds.
I was gonna say, the gun models. Do you find them a bit too big? Especially the sniper rifle, especially like the burn. I can't remember the name, but the burn card one,
Do I
where
find
it takes up like half the screen.
Oh right. If I look at it from a design point of view, and I think about the person that was making the character models and the weapon models, and whether or not he probably should have just stopped. He or she should have just stopped and gone, you know what? It probably doesn't need this, attachment to the stock that, on the face of it looks like it probably would jab someone in the armpit if they were to put it under their shoulder kind of thing and take it into battle. Yeah, I mean, if I was to make videos and stuff, it's a good size for me to take a screen cap and potentially do weapon breakdown videos. But yeah, it does take up a fair bit of room, got to say.
Yeah. It's not a massive a massive issue.
It's not a game breaker.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all my topics as well.
Sweet. Well, that's incredibly well timed. We're actually at around about an hour, and I'm going to handpick some of the better footage I've got over the last day or so, and try and make this a nice visual experience as opposed to, in combination with the nice audio experience. Apologies for Chris and Ron not being here. Chris, we can only assume he's neck deep in lovely ladies, and also Ron as well. Ron's still overseas and stuff.
Overseas, yeah.
But I guess regular transmission shall restore itself in a week or so. We are still going to do a regular quad feed this week. Hopefully we're going to be taping that on the Tuesday for upload sometime during the week as per usual. So I guess what else is there? As you can imagine, with since we've been able to dedicate an hour's worth of talking to it, it does figure to be a large part of my channel moving forward. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll be sure to keep plenty of Titanfall stuff coming your way, because any game that you can waffle pretty much off the cuff and completely unscripted for about an hour, there's obviously a lot to talk about, and with good reason. This does look to be one of the better games that is coming out this year, so hopefully you'll jump on board with that, and I'll see you on my channel. Anything you want to sign off with, Benny?
Not really. It's in closed beta at the moment, but it's going to be open beta
Yes, exactly.
So by the time you see this, it'll probably be finished. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to when it comes out. And hopefully it's not one of those things where just after a week I'm bored of it or whatever. But I think it's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm right up, right on board with that. No pun intended. Preparing for Titanfall. Just jumped in board. Oh my god, I've just seen this clip where I just got kicked in the face. Fucking hell. That's it. I'm going to have to jump on. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Probably should have asked that at the beginning of the video since you've sat there and listened to it for about an hour. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of Quad Feed. Thanks for listening. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.